Welcome to Mr. C's Storytime. We are reading part 2 of Junie B. Jones is Not a Crook. Chapter 5, Gargling and Scribbling. Room 9 is way far from Principal's office. I had to stop at the water fountain or else I might not make it. I pressed the button with my thumb. Then I puckered up my lips and I sucked the water in. I'd even put my mouth on the spout, because there's lip dirt on that thing, of course. I sloshed the water all around in my cheeks. Then I bended my head way back and I did some gargles. I can gargle very perfect, except I can't keep the water in my actual mouth. It run out the sides and dribbled on the floor. I splashed in it with my toe. That's when I saw something very wonderful down there. Hey, it's one of those pens that writes in 4 different colors, I said. I quick picked it up and pushed the little red button on the top. A red pen popped out the bottom. I scribbled red scribble all over my hand. Wowie, wow, wow! I love this thing, I said. After that, I pushed the green button and scribbled green scribble. And I pushed the blue button and scribbled blue scribble. Plus also I pushed the black button and scribbled black scribble. This pen makes scribbling a pleasure, I said. I put it in my pocket and started skipping to room 9. Only too bad for me, because all of a sudden I remembered about the lost and found. I stopped. Oh no, I wish I didn't even remember about that, I said. Now I have to take my pen to the lost and found, or else I won't wear a grin. I did a frown, because something didn't make sense here, that's why. Yeah, only I was already wearing a grin, I said. I weared a grin as soon as I saw this wonderful thing, and so taking it to the office will only make me sad. I tapped on my chin. Maybe Principal is a little mixed up about this, I said to just myself. I'm pretty sure I'll be happier if I keep it. And there's another thing I am thinking. I am thinking whoever owned this pen didn't even take good care of it, so I will give it a good home, and that's what can be a good deed than that. I took it out of my pocket and looked at it. Plus, this even makes sense, because first I got my mitten stolen, and then I couldn't keep the teddy backpack, and so keeping this pen is fair and square. All of a sudden, my whole face lighted up, because I just thought of a different poem, that's why. And it's called Finders Keepers, Losers Weepers. Finders Keepers, Losers Weepers, I said real thrilled. Finders Keepers, Losers Weepers! Then I jumped up and down very happy, because everybody says that, and so Finders Keepers is really the rule, I bet. After that, I put my pen back in my pocket, and I skipped the rest of the way to room 9. Chapter 6, My Grandpa's Wallet. I kept my pen in my pocket the whole rest of the day. I didn't want people to see it, or else they might tattletale to Mrs., and she would make me take it to Lost and Found. I behaved myself very good, because I didn't want to attract attention, that's why. I kept my hand in my pocket so my pen would not fall out. Also, I kept thinking about my mittens, because I still miss those furry guys. I put my head down on my table. Maybe my Grandpa Miller might buy me some more furry mittens, I thought, because that would be a perfect solution, I think. I raised up my head. Hey, yeah, then I would have wonderful new mittens plus a wonderful new pen, and so what more can a girl ask for? That's what I'd like to know. I sat up in my chair and tapped on Lucille. Guess what, Lucille? Maybe my Grandpa Frank Miller might buy me some new mittens. Then all of my troubles will be over. Lucille said whoop-de-doo for me. I know it's whoop-de-doo, I said, real thrilled. And so, thank you for your support. After school, me and my bestest friend named Grace rode the bus together. I run it home from my corner like a speedy bullet. My Grandpa Frank Miller was babysitting my brother named Ollie. Grandpa Frank Miller, we gotta go to the mitten store, I hollered real loud.
Pictures? I want to see, Daddy.
Grandpa Frank Miller was in the living room rocking Ollie. He looked funny at me. Go where? He asked. To the mitten store, to the mitten store. We gotta go to the mitten store. I pulled on his hand. Get up, get up, get up. Let's go. You gotta get a mitten on. Grandpa Miller looked confused at me. That's how come I sit down and I told him what happened at school. Someone stole my mittens, I said. They stole them while I was being brownie, and I didn't even know there was crooks at that place. Grandpa Frank Miller shook his head very sad. I guess you can find crooks almost anywhere, honey, he said. I know it, I told him. That's how come I'm never going to see those furry guys again, and so you and me have to go to the mitten store. I felt in his back pocket. Then I danced, real thrilled. Hooray, I shouted. Hooray for your big fat wallet, 'cause you got cash in there, right, Grandpa? Right? Grandpa Frank Miller laughed. Yes, I do. I've got cash all right, he said, but I'm afraid we won't be able to buy you more mittens. The mittens I bought you were the only furry ones they had left. I bought the very last pair. Just then, all the happy went right out of me, 'cause I didn't actually count on this terrible development. Yeah, only we have to, Grandpa. We have to buy more furry mittens, or else what will I even do? Grandpa Miller ruffled my hair. Did you look in the lost and found at school? He asked. I did a sad breath. Yeah, only that dumb thing doesn't work that good, 'cause people don't always turn stuff in. I patted my new pen in my pocket. Trust me on this, I said. Well, your mittens could still turn up, he said. Folks will surprise you sometimes. Then he told me a story about his wallet. A few years ago, I lost my wallet at the mall. I was sure I'd never see it again, he said. I bobbed my head up and down. I know it. That's because of finders, keepers, losers, weepers, I said. Finders, keepers, losers, weeper is the rule, right, Grandpa? Grandpa Miller smiled. Well, it might be the rule for some people, he said, but luckily it's not the rule for everyone. Because the very next day when I went out to get my mail, there it was. My wallet was sitting right smack in the middle of my mailbox, and not one single penny was missing. His eyes looked happy and sparkly. Can you imagine that, little girl? Someone had a chance to take something or everything in my wallet, but instead they drove all the way to my house and they put it in my mailbox. Just then, he reached in his back pocket and pulled out his wallet. Look what I would have lost if they hadn't returned it, he said. He took out a picture out of his wallet and handed it to me. It's you and a baby, I said. But that's just not any baby, he said. That's you, Junie B. That's a picture of you the very first time I ever held you. He took the picture back and stared at it. Nicest thing a stranger ever did for me, bringing this picture back, he said. Then he leaned over again and he kissed me on my head. Chapter 7. The Pink Fluffy Girl. After I talked to my grandpa, I went to my room. I closed my door real secret. Then I took my wonderful pen out of my pocket and I did a big sigh. 'Cause I had confusion in me, that's why. I wish I never even heard that wallet story, I said. 'Cause finders, keepers, losers, weepers isn't the rule apparently, and so now, maybe, I might be a crook. I looked at the wonderful pen. Yeah, only I don't even feel like a crook. I feel like a lucky duck, but I still have to take this thing to the lost and found probably, and then it'll go to waste just like the teddy backpack. All of a sudden, I heard Mother and Daddy come home from work. I quick hid my pen under my mattress, 'cause those two would not be understanding of this situation. They came in my room and kissed me hello. I told them what happened to my mittens. Then I begged and begged for them to take me to the store, but Mother said, there's no more left. And Daddy said, there's no more left, too. And so there was no more left, apparently. That's how come I got depressed all over again, and I couldn't even sleep that good that night. I kept on wondering, who was the mitten crook, and what did he look like? because I've seen crooks on TV before, and they are biggish and meanish with tattoos on themselves. Just then, I sat up in my bed, because a good idea popped into my head, that's why. Hey, a tattoo is easy to spot, I bet, I said, and so maybe I can find that crook on the playground tomorrow. After that, I went straight to sleep, because I would need my strength for crook looking. The next day at recess, I didn't play horses with Lucille and that Grace. Instead, I run it all around the playground looking for the mitten crook. Only too bad for me, because most of the children had their jackets on, and so I couldn't even see any crooks with tattoos. Pretty soon, the bell rang. That is when my eyes got tears in them, because I would never see my mittens again, not ever, ever, never. I started walking to room 9. My nose was sniffling and drippity. I wiped it on my attractive jacket sleeve. Then, all of a sudden, a pink fluffy girl skipped past me. She had on a pink fluffy dress with pink fluffy socks and shoes and a pink fluffy jacket made of pink fluffy fur. And guess what else? She had black furry mittens in her pink fluffy pockets. My eyes got big and wide. Hey, that's my mittens, my mittens, my mittens, I screamed real loud. Then I put my head down and I zoomed at her like a speeding bull. Mrs. saw me running. She grabbed me by my attractive winter jacket. I jumped up and down and pointed. That pink fluffy girl stole my mittens. She's the crook. Only her jacket is covering up her tattoo, and so that's what had me stumped. Mrs. called to the pink fluffy girl. She skipped over to where we were. I kept on jumping. You stole them! You stole my mittens, I said. No, I didn't, she said back. I didn't steal anything. I found these mittens. They were right in the grass. And so I thought nobody wanted them. I did, I yelled. I wanted them. My Grandpa Miller bought them for me for no good reason. And I have been worrying about them all day and all night, and that is called heartache, madame. Mrs. said to hush my voice. She took my mittens away from the pink fluffy girl and gave them back to me. Then she bended down and she talked to the pink fluffy girl real serious. Even if you thought no one wanted those mittens, it was wrong of you to take them, she told her. The pink fluffy girl pointed at me. But she didn't even take good care of them, she said. I stomped my foot. Yes, I did. I did too take good care of them. I left them with my attractive winter jacket because I didn't even know there was crooks at this place. Mrs. said, hush, to me again. You should have taken them to the lost and found, she told the pink fluffy girl. Yeah, 'cause then I would have found them when I looked there, I said. And so, what do you think that box is there for? My health? The pink fluffy girl started to cry. But I really, really love them, she said. Mrs. smoothed her hair. I'm afraid that's not the issue, she said. Yeah, we're afraid that's not the issue, I said, 'cause finders keepers isn't the rule apparently. And so, from now on, if you find my stuff, you have to take it to Lost and Found. Plus, also, you can put it in my grandpa's mailbox. Mrs. looked at me for a really long time. She said I am getting on her nerves. After that, she held the pink fluffy girl's hand, and they went to talk to her teacher. I quick put my mittens on. Then I buried my face in their black furry fur, and I danced around real joyful. Chapter 8. I am not a crook. The next day I went to principal's office. The grouchy typing lady looked over the counter at me. I rocked back and forth on my feet. Yeah, only I'm not even bad again, I said. I just need to go to the Lost and Found, and that's all. The grouchy typey lady opened up the closet. She pulled out the big box. Just then the phone rang, and she hurried up to answer it. I quick bended down and digged my hands in the lost and found. Then my heart got very thrilled, 'cause I saw that wonderful teddy backpack again, that's why. I snuggled my face in his tummy. I still love this softy guy, I whispered. I put him on my back and skipped all around. The grouchy typing lady hanged up the phone. Did you lose that too? She asked me. Is that why you're here? I kept on standing there and standing there. Well, she said. Finally, I did a big sigh. Then I walked slowly back to the box and took off the teddy backpack. No, I said, not why. After that, I reached in my pocket and I pulled out my wonderful pen. I found this, I said. It was on the floor by the water fountain, and I really, really love it, only that is not the issue. Then I did a big, deep breath, and I dropped the wonderful pen into the lost and found. I am not a crook, I said, kind of quiet. The grouchy typing lady looked nicer at me. She ruffled my hair. No, she said, of course you're not a crook. After that, I rocked back and forth on my feet some more, and I waited and waited and waited. The typing lady raised her eyebrows at me. I'm waiting for the grin, I explained. Only there seems to be a delay. She laughed right out loud. That's when I felt it. The grin! It came right on my face. Hey, it's working, I said real squealy. I skipped all around the office, very happy. Then the typing lady opened up the door and I skipped all the way to room 9. And guess what? I didn't even find a pen that writes 4 different colors. And that was a big relief. I hope you enjoyed Junie B. Jones is Not a Crook. Please check out Mr. C's Storytime for some other great books to read and listen to.